Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial for Jigsaw Inventory System once again. So in this video we will see how to implement the Jigsaw into the Advanced Locomotion system. So let's go ahead and add the Advanced Jigsaw Inventory to our project. So this one should be named Advanced Loco System. So we'll wait for the files to be added. I'm using 4.23. So we want to implement the multiplayer example of Jigsaw Inventory into the Advanced Locomotion. And so it is of course recommended that you use 4.22 and plus. So I'm using 4.23. So hopefully you do the same thing, because from 4.22 plus I basically moved all the logic of the multiplayer example into a component that exists in the player controller. So it makes it easier to work with different characters, which is what we're gonna do here. So 4.23, this is my current project. So let's go ahead and go and open the example map. So I'm gonna go to examples here, multiplayer, and then we are going to open the map. So we'll check the example, see what's going on in there. Of course, we don't have some inputs like jump, lookup, turn, etc., but that's not important because we will be using a different character, which is of course the character of the Advanced Locomotion v3. So I'm not sure I'll be able to move or not. Nope, I will not, because we don't have the input, but I've made a video about this multiplayer example, so you can check that out. But for now, we're going to implement it into the Advanced Locomotion. But first, let's take a look at the main files of this example. So once again, going back to the multiplayer example folder, and here we have the player, the character. So with the new update, like I said, basically in this character, there's not a lot going on. It's just basic movement, which we will be using the Advanced Locomotion characters for it, so we don't need this. So this is not needed. What else? Damage. This is just some basic damage. You can implement your own damage or copy these. What else? What do we have here? We have interface events. So this is the only important thing that we need to implement in the other character. The interface, or if we go to class settings here, we have a MP character interface, which is just responsible for like playing a montage, having like a multicast event, so all players can play this montage, stop a montage, or we have some replicated variables here about just equipment. So we will need to add these helmet, armor, pants, gloves, and tactical rig. So we also have some interface functions. So once you add an interface, of course you will get its functions. So we have get equip mesh. This is needed. In the jigsaw component, set active slot, which is replicated, etc. So we will be modifying all these things, but like you can see here in the character, there's not a lot of things going on. So the most important thing, of course, is the player controller. In the player controller, so let's go ahead and open the player controller, which should be TPMP player controller. And as you can see here, the most important thing here is the MP jig component, where everything happens. So as long as you have it added to your player controller, you should be good to go. Of course, you can we won't be needing this, of course, it's just a help widget. So let's just go ahead and disconnect that. So we need to initialize our component, and obviously change the active slot when you press 1, 2, 3 to switch between your primary, secondary slots, etc. If, of course, your key to like attempt to interact with something, and of course tab or E to open your inventory, and of course you can simply just get the component and look and call toggle inventory. This is a client event for when the player dies. You can keep it, or you can add your own logic there. So we could simply copy this and add the component to like a new player controller, but since the advanced locomotion character doesn't have a player controller, so we'll be just using this. Another useful method is if you have another player controller, you can just go to settings here and just change the parent. Just set the parent of that player controller to this one, and so it will inherit everything, and you can still use that player controller if you have like something going on already. So let's go ahead and open the advanced locomotion map. Let's see. So we'll use one of their maps. Let's see, check this out. If you play, we got a player here. Maybe something with the single player. Alright, so we'll be using this one. It doesn't really matter what map you use, of course. So here, okay, so they have this ALS game mode, of course. And since we also have a game mode, we can either, let's see if it inherits from something. So there's nothing going on, so we could use our own, or we could change the parent of this one to the to our game mode. But since they're not like using this for anything, you can just replace it with our own. So here, player game mode will do the child, TPMP game mode child. That's what we're gonna use. If we play, of course, nothing will change. Like, it still works just fine. Well, actually, changing this, of course, will change the character and the player controller class. So character, we don't need this. I don't think we don't need this. We could use ALS. Well, let's see if I play here. Okay, so it just takes this character and possesses that. So let's see. I can just remove this. I usually don't like just, you know, putting a character on the map and just like automatically possessing that. I prefer just having the player start and then have the player there spawn. So player start here. So the character is going to be not base character, but let's see, is it tutorial character? Let's see. No, it's not tutorial character, I don't think. So let's see, blueprint, what we have. Okay, so mannequin character, that's what we want. Mannequin character. So just select that. And as you can see here is by default, well, if we clear that, well, so because we set the game mode to our multiplayer example, it automatically selected the player controller. But of course, if you don't have it selected here, usually you will have like player controller, the default controller. So just make sure you have the TPMP player controller, or if you have to use your own player controller, like I said, you can make this controller a child of your main controller. So if we play right now, we should have basically the ALS character working just fine, and you can open close the inventory. So that's basically it. But of course we need to handle certain things here. So because we are using a new character, that's where the multiplayer interface comes in of the player example map. So click on an icon here to go to the mannequin character, or your character, doesn't really matter which one, as long as it's a new character. So the first thing we want to do here is obviously this inherits from the ALS base character, which is fine. So we want to go to class settings here, and we want to add a new interface. And I think the interface is called MP character interface. So once you add that interface, you should have the interface functions here. So this interface is used to communicate with the character from the jig component. So let's see what's going on in our character here. So let's see, do we need player controller? We don't need the player controller right now, so close that. So we'll see what's going on in here and do the same thing. So get equip mesh here. So we need to add these guys. Of course, for equipping skeletal meshes, so we could add them. So it says helmet mesh. Okay, so let's go ahead and add those. So we have the main mesh right here. We're gonna select it and do add component, and then skeletal mesh. So this will be our helmet. Helmet mesh. Of course, if you don't need these, then don't use them. But it is used in the multiplayer example for equipping like a helmet, skeletal mesh helmet or armor or etc. So let's see what we got here. We have armor, so we can just select this, Control W, just duplicate it, and we should have for armor. I think it's armor. Let's see, armor, yes, armor. Same thing. And add pants. What else? Gloves. Okay, and what else? Tack rig mesh. Alright. So add tack rig mesh. I think that's pretty much it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 there. Okay, so that is pretty much what we need here. Let's go ahead and compile. Okay, so first event is this. Okay, so we can basically just copy this. Or let's see. Okay, double click here. No, we don't need that actually. We need this, I think. Get equip mesh by slot. Get equip mesh by slot. Here we go. Okay, you can do select, and that should add. If you like hook this one, it should like fill in the information automatically. So this is a very important node. If you instead of like using if branch or like if statement multiple times, you can just use a select here. Okay, so for helmet, you can just attach these guys. Helmet goes there, armor goes here, hands goes here, gloves here. Let's see, do we have gloves here? Okay, go, and then tactical rig. There you go. I think they said that all. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's good. So for that function, we're good. Set active slot. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so set active slot. Okay, so we need the variable here. Yes, we need the variable of type player slots. So I guess we could just right click here, promote to variable, current active slot. I'm not sure if this is important for this character, because you will be basically like you need to like add your own rifle animations and pistol animation, etc. So this is a way to know what is the current active slot. So if it's a rifle, let's see what are the options here. So let's go ahead and compile. So we got none. Basically, you have no weapon. Primary is like your primary weapon is currently your active slot. Secondary pistol, melee, and that's basically, yeah, that's all you need. You don't need helmet, armor, etc. So if it's pistol, you need to like play the pistol animation. If it's primary, then it's probably a rifle. Then obviously play that. So we'll do replicated here. So replicated, is that all? Let's see, what kind of replication we have here. Replicated, that's pretty much it though. Good. So replicated and default value is none. Go ahead and save that. So this you can use this in your animation blueprint basically to know which active slot is currently active. So let's see what else. Get camera. So get camera. This is used to trace for pickups. So let's see. Get camera. Get camera. Okay, not here. Here we go. So okay. So this uses. It uses 2 cameras, first person, third person. Can we know which active, what do you call it? Let's see, first person, first person now. Okay, so we need to, okay, so for now, we will just use the third person camera, and later we will see how we can like, obviously you need to know which one is active. I guess we could do, okay, let's see, select. Okay, so if this is active, okay, so if it's the active, we take this one. True. If okay, hold on. it's active. If it is active, we take it. If it's not, we take the other one. That's basically it. If third person camera is the active one, we take it. Otherwise, we take the first person camera. Okay, so what else? I guess we can. Okay, so set active slot done. This one is not done yet. So sit. What was that? Sit. Okay, equip. All right, equip skeletal mesh. All right, so we got these. We need to create these on-rep notify variables. Okay, so let's see. They are of type skeletal mesh. Copy that. So add new. Okay, is this okay? Mannequin variable. Good. Okay, so put that there. Compile so we can. I guess we don't need to compile. Skeletal mesh. There you go. Let's see if we can choose the asset. Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. All right. So what you want to do for this? I guess we can like duplicate everything. You don't want to change the replication just yet. Okay. Equip armor. Hands. This is a replicated variable for if like a player just joined in, they can equip that one. Control W to duplicate that. Equipped pants. Equipped gloves. Once again, select this one of the variables. Oops. Control W. Paste that. And finally, equipped tag rig. So Control W and do that. So go ahead and compile real quick, and what we want to do here is we want to go to the replication here and do rep notify. So once you do rep notify, it adds like a on rep equipped helmet. So basically when this variable gets replicated, we can do something in this function right here. So same thing, rep notify, and finally here, same thing, rep notify. There you go. Okay, so what we need to do in these, well, I guess we can just copy this. All right, so, okay, is that a sequence here? Yeah, sequence. I already have it, never mind. Okay, delete this. So use the slot there and the skeleton mesh here. So basically, based on the slot, we set the mesh that we want to equip. Okay, so that takes care of that, but we still need to handle the on rip. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so on rip. Okay, so what we need to do here is take the helmet mesh. Just copy it, see if it works. Yes, it does, because we have the same names for the variables. So this is the helmet. Basically, you hook it there. And equipped helmet is the variable that's being replicated, which is here. So you can just copy paste everything, you know, so we don't waste time. Okay, so on rip armor, same thing. We just basically set the skeletal mesh of that skeletal mesh child. Pants, same thing. There you go. What else? Gloves. There you go. And finally, tactical rig. Tactical rig. There you go. Okay. I think we have like something in the construct event, so let's check that out. Yes, we do. So basically, we need these child skeletal meshes to follow the main mesh for animation. So we do it by like setting the master pose component. So we could just copy these, go to the construct script and do this. Okay, there you go. So let's see what else we need. I think we need another, let's see, this is handled, this is true. Handled, this one, set inventory component reference. See, is it okay? So basically, if you want to have access to the inventory component, you can access it from here. Maybe when like first person or third person changes, you can like update the camera or other stuff. So let's see, inventory component, or of course, or get the current equipped weapon, see like what kind of weapon it is, etc. Okay, so basically we just need to promote this driver. So jig component or something like that. So jig component. So we keep a reference for this to use it later, like maybe shooting or something like that. So let's see what else. This is done. This is done. Get main mesh. Basically, the main mesh is just the main mesh. So there we go. So compile. So I think that's pretty much it. Of course, we still need the these movement. We don't care about it because now it's handled by the advanced locomotion. Damage and loot box spawn. Let's see, left mouse button. Let's see, this is just shooting and dealing damage to the character. We can add that later, but first let's test, make sure everything is working fine. This is just shooting logic. Obviously you probably want to replace this with your own. Yeah, but basically we just do apply damage. And let's see, okay, let's okay, so here we go. So on player death. So this is probably what we want. Okay, let's see, on player death. Player death. This is called by the server probably. Let's see. No, this one probably. Okay. Okay, deal damage on damage taken. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So damage taken. If the player dies, we call in on player death, and this is called. I guess we could copy this. It's fine. So let's go to the event graph right here. There you go. Okay, so this is our jig component that we just saved. Health. I guess why not? Compile. Health is 100 by default. What's this? On player death. Okay, we need to copy the other event. I guess on player death we just call this, so let's just go do it directly here. What's this? Server function handle server, like handle player death or whatever. There you go. So when the player dies here, we just handle, just basically spawn the loot box, etc. So compile. There you go. So I think that's pretty much it. Okay, one more thing is the montage section of the interface. So we can just simply copy these. Let's see if I can copy the entire node. Copy, and then I could paste it here. So interface events, and this is basically, okay, let's see, MC play montage on all, that would be it. See, refresh. Let's go ahead and compile. Okay, let's just refresh here, fresh node, compile once again, and we're good to go. So this is the interface event for playing a montage. So we simply play the given montage here on everyone. So this is a multicast event. And then we have stop montage and stop montage on all. Yeah, so make sure you copy this interface event from the character, and like we did. And refresh any nodes if there are any errors. Alright, so let's go ahead and give it a try. Oops. Hello, save all. Alright. Okay, so let's go ahead and play. Okay, obviously we need some pickups. Let's go ahead and add some pickups right here. So let's see. Okay. Advanced locomotion. Yeah, we need to add some sockets as well for the rifles to be equipped to. Okay, so let's see. Advanced examples. Simple pickups. Static meshes. Backpacks. Start with backpack. So here we go. We have a backpack here. And then what else? We can like add some wallet. Why not? Let's add a wallet here. We can add a helmet here. What else we can add? Other bullets, currency, that's some money. Just making sure the pickup system works. Here we go. What else? Pants. Yeah, why not? Weapons. Let's see. Knife. Let's add a knife. Or a stick, rather. Okay, so rifle. Put it there. And pistol right here. Okay, so let's make sure these guys work first. Okay, so backpack works just fine. That's just a socket problem we will fix later. This is also a socket problem. But the most important thing is that it gets equipped. Pants get equipped, as you can see, visually to the character. Melee weapon also gets equipped. Wallet. Okay. So you can see everything is working just fine. Let's pick some money. Put it here. Everything is working. Alright. Helmet. You can see that it gets equipped to the character just fine. Okay, so these sockets. So for the backpack socket, can go here. Let's see, find the mesh. Let's find the mannequin right here. Open like just whatever, this one, go to the skeleton and like select something like, I don't know, spine 2, like right click, add a socket. Just call it backpack. Right click, add the preview, backpack, and make sure, I guess, rotate it however you want. Alright. Still gonna do something quick just to show you how it's done. Sockets are really easy to work with, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, this will do for now. Yeah. So backpack is the socket of this backpack. So that's what we're gonna use. Let's see where it's used. I think it's player controller. System examples, multiplayer. Probably in component. Let's see, player controller. Select this one. Let's see what we have. Do we have some socket? Equipment sockets. Here we go. So MP jig component, and here we'll just call it backpack. That's our socket. Should do the same thing for like rifle socket and rifle holder. Rifle holder 2, pistol holder, melee. Or you probably wanna open the jig component, like kind of maybe get your sockets from like a data table, for example, like because each weapon obviously is going to have like different sockets, but this is a good starting point for now. So backpack is a backpack socket, so we should now be able to there you go. How do you crouch? Oh no. C doesn't crouch, control doesn't crouch. Anyway. So that's basically it. Like, you can add other things such as, okay, let's see, examples. No, actually system. Let's see, pickup system, MP container, MP container box. Let's add a container here. So what is container gonna have? We can select the container, and you can go to the data table. Data table. Now everything's not in the data table. Anyway, so container name. I don't know. Some loot. Container items. What we can have here. Let's add a rifle. Of course, these are names. The ID is from the data table. So, and what data table is going to be weapons. If you go here, click on this icon, if you open the weapons data table, you can see these IDs: rifle, rifle 2, pistol, knife, etc. So rifle is what we're gonna add. Let's add a rifle. Let's add. Okay, so this controls the size of the container. You can control it from here. Make sure you're using MP container because there is a single player version. Another item, I guess, from consumables. Do we have an apple? Count. I'm gonna have like 50 apples. Why not? Okay, so that will be the container. So there you go. Our container, some loot, F and rank, and there's our rifle. And we have we don't have a backpack, but anyway, we have 50 apples right there, and the rifle equipped. It is equipped right there, as you can see, but it's just a socket problem which you can fix easily, like we did with the backpack. So that would be okay. You can hold Alt and drag to duplicate it, and then you can add like other items if you want. Vendors, the same thing. It's basically the same thing. So pickup system. Pickup system. We should have vendors here. MP vendor AI. So always like pay attention to the MP multiplayer. So MP here. This vendor is gonna sell some stuff. So what you're gonna sell here. So it's the same thing as again. Just go to the settings right here, or the details panel. Vendor name. Yeah, vendor weapons. Why not? Or you know what? Let's make him sell some armor. Vendor armor. Vendor items, the same thing. You just click on the plus sign, you add your items right there. So I think we have helmet and the armor data table, and then another plus. Oh, oops, I only needed two. Let's see, ID, armor. Maybe we should armor first. Armor and then helmet. Alright, so this is an armor as well. Armor. Always make sure that you're selecting the right data table. Okay, so count is okay. How many armors this vendor can sell? I don't know, like 500. Why not? Helmets, 65. Price. So if -1, then the price will be taken from the data table. If we go to the data table here and select helmet, we should have a price here somewhere. There you go, price 400. So if you leave it at -1, then the price will be taken from the data table. Anyway, so -1, so it doesn't matter. We could change it, why not? Armor 500, why not? 500? No. So armor, we could, I don't know, sell it for like 300, 350. Price here for, oh, oops, that's the armor. Yeah, that's fine. If that's 350, we'll put this at 120. Save, and let's see if we can interact with our vendor. So here's a vendor. Hello. So he's selling 500 armors. The price is, as you can see, 350 and 120. So if I double click on it, it says not enough credits to buy. But anyway, so that is basically how to implement the multiplayer example with the advanced locomotion. So hopefully this tutorial was useful. If you have any questions, please let me know, or if there's something I forgot to cover, just let me know in the comment below, or in Discord, or like send me an email, and I'll make sure to respond as quickly as possible. So hope you guys found this video useful, and until next time, take care.